That was beautiful, guys. Thank you. Our next person is a second-year student studying counselling at Greenwich University, and he's gonna share a speech, spoken word on grace. Who is this person? Well, it's James Collyer.
Evening, everybody. Mind if I don't use a mic? Is that alright? Anybody got a problem? Don't say no, don't say yes. Okay, I'm going to do a spoken word. It's on grace. I think before I start, I just want to say I'm no Shakespeare, I'm no Wordsworth. But I just like words. And I love trying to put them in certain rhymes, certain rhythms, trying to make them just flow really, really nicely. And I think, thank you. And I think words can be really powerful, so I hope that as I share this that you can be touched and something can, you can experience, I guess, what it's like, what these words mean for me. Grace. Quite often known as amazing grace. I want to ask, what do you think of when I say these two words? Do you think of people simply following the herd, or do you think of people living free like the birds? I want to know. Do you think of a being that is constant, or do you think of a God that's distant, it's not personal, but turns and laughs every time you fall? I want to know. Do you think of a frame for the weak, a crutch for the meek, for those that can't live in the sometimes bleak, uncertain certainty that life, if having no purpose, is in no uncertain terms, certainly worthless? Well, luckily for me and for all of you, if only you choose, life doesn't have to be worthless, but oh so worth it. You know, it's no longer pointless, because with Jesus, we know what the point is. Mortal life, sure, we're going to lose. But what stands to gain is infinitely better than the finite pleasure and temporary pain. Because no one else is ever to blame for the choices that we don't take and the chances we don't take, because God isn't a fake. And you can't blame a God that you don't believe in for the trouble and mess you find yourself in. That's known as free will. We're talking about that, 5 more pages I could fill, so back to grace. Because even those of us, if life we choose, still so often can lose the meaning of this word. Try to say, try to do, just remember, it's not a verb, which to clarify is a doing word. And grace isn't a doing word. From God, it's the most precious gift that for any person from any darkness can lift. It includes me and it includes you. And if you don't know that, then please let me show you that if you trust Christ, He can change your life. Not necessarily by removing the stress and the strife, but like Batman, helping you to win the fight against the Banes and the Jokers in your life and see the end of your dark nights. I like that too. I was so chuffed. Now turning the story over to me, to my life, to my failures, and to my grace-filled testimony. I just have to think of all the people that I have disrespected, all the minds and the lives that I've verbally and mentally dissected, all the drinks that I have drunk and all the work that I have flunked and all the self-control that's been non-existent. And when I'm talking about existence, let me mention all the life that I have lived with persistence to exist, the existence God planned me to exist in. Not only that, countless times have I lost faith in His grace. I've tried to run and I've tried to hide with all my dirt and all my lies covering me, but says He, can't you see I love thee? I didn't die by the wood and the nails for fun or for me. I did it so that my dad could bring you back home to my family. That was my plea. That you would hear and be saved, that you would see and be brave, that you would believe through faith in me and what I did. So you'd no longer be lost and bound, but instead alive and found. Now as my words draw ever nearer to the end, may I highly recommend you listen to what I'm about to say, because it basically says what I've been trying to say all along. And it's something I imagine you'll know. So have a listen to John Newton as he introduces God's amazing show. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saves a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Thanks for listening.